Dunque, proseguiamo, purtroppo fuori mi dicono che continua a piovere, quindi questo tempo che ci ha penalizzato moltissimo quest'anno, purtroppo. Dunque, ora un appuntamento di poesia, ma un appuntamento particolare, lascerò subito lo spazio a tutti. Hi Tom. Dunque, la Poetry Foundation di Chicago è una delle più importanti istituzioni letterarie del mondo, probabilmente forse la più importante di quella che si occupa esclusivamente di poesia, e pubblica la rivista Poetry, che è una delle più importanti riviste dedicate, la più importante rivista dedicata alla poesia, mi dice Damiano Abeni. Dunque, noi qui abbiamo l'onore di avere il presidente della Poetry Foundation, Robert Polito, che è anche poeta oltre ad essere presidente, e poi Tom Healy e Adam Fitzgerald, che invece vengono da New York, poeti che collaborano con la Poetry Foundation. Damiano Abeni li introduce, li traduce, li accompagna, fa tutto. Io vi saluto, grazie.
Grazie a voi, grazie agli organizzatori. Abbiamo effettivamente la fortuna di avere tre personalità importanti del mondo poetico contemporaneo statunitense che appunto sono venuti a presentare questo progetto eccezionale della Poetry Foundation, attraverso il quale renderanno disponibile, come vedrete, un certo numero dei grandi classici del Novecento americano. Ma prima ciascuno di loro leggerà qualche poesia, just a few poems, ovviamente il tempo è tiranno, e cominciamo a leggere appunto da Robert Polito, che prima di diventare il presidente della Poetry Foundation un paio d'anni fa ha fondato il corso di Creative Writing alla New School e oltre ad essere poeta, critico, è un importante esperto di romanzi noir, ha curato una raccolta di classici noir per la Library of America, è uno dei più grandi esperti di Bob Dylan al mondo, sta preparando un libro di critica letteraria su Bob Dylan e ci leggerà credo, due poesie dal suo ultimo libro che si chiama Hollywood and God, che è uscito nel 2009, e una scelta di queste poesie è disponibile da un mese o due su nuovi argomenti, è uscita da poco. So, if you want to go and start reading.
So thank you, Damiano, and thank you, Vincenzo, and I would like to dedicate our portion of the festival to the American poet Mark Strand, who I know was here a few years ago.
Dice che dedica questa porzione di letture a Mark Strand.
And I'm going to read two poems. The first is called Shooting Star, after a Bob Dylan song of the same name, and it appears in your program.
Sì, questa è la poesia di cui avete il testo italiano nel programma. Shooting Star è il titolo, vuol dire stella cadente, è il titolo di una famosa canzone di Bob Dylan.
Shooting Star. I seen a shooting star tonight and I thought of you. In a San Francisco basement apartment, there's a woman I keep hearing about who claims for the last 20 years she's lived with Bob Dylan and wishes to write a book about it. That might mostly be new to him. Hey man, you must be putting me on. But she sells scarves from her own North Beach shop, and according to this woman, Dylan's changed a lot. Heavy now, yet kind, if also a little crazy. In and out of hospitals, he doesn't look like himself. Still, wherever he travels, he mails her love poems in his familiar 60s style, and she'd be honored to show them around. A sleepy kitchen at dawn, the woman steps towards the kettle, pajamas open to her waist. An owlish man, drunken, slothful, legs behind. The glamour of the damaged. But how much more gratifying for her not to have spun the whole hazy farrago out of loneliness, madness, or for money. And this morning, to wake beside someone who persuades you he recorded Shooting Star just for you. The other poem I would like to read is a little bit longer, and it's the title poem of my book, Hollywood and God.
È la poesia che dà il titolo al libro, quindi è una poesia centrale in questa opera.
Hollywood and God. If only God would save me, I would know how to hurt you. If only God would save me, I would know who to sell my soul to. Anything is an autobiography, but this is a conversation. William Burroughs insisted literature lagged 50 years behind painting, thinking no doubt about abstraction, collage, fragmentation, his cut-ups. But whatever that meant, why always 50 years? Or however he presumed to rile other writers. Poetry probably does lag behind any credible media theory about it. So that if I put a pine tree into a poem, a grove of pine trees and beyond them the sea, you'd think it was the same tree Wordsworth put there, instead of 2 obligatory centuries of nature studies, all those technicolor vistas, torch songs, couples drifting through leaves in Salem commercials. Into one life and out another, the way a junkie playing a writer playing a priest, so that when I finally blurted out, "You betrayed me, I wounded you, we're so unhappy," you assumed the burden of personal urgency. Suppose it was me speaking at the limits of my self-control, and not the damn don't cry, temptation, and leave her to heaven. You open your mouth and a tradition dribbles out. But that's mimesis, how almost impossible to avoid mimesis. Anybody's hardest truths prompting the most fractured constructions. The way to think about God might be to disobey God, if only God's wish to remain hidden. So that if everything is an autobiography, this is a conversion. As my lives flash before me, why must the yearning for God trump all other yearnings? You often hear converts confess the drinking, his pills, her sexual addiction, concealed inside them a yearning for God. Why not the other way around? The admission of Jesus into your life, concealing instead the wish, say a need, to be fucked senseless, drunk, drugged, and screaming, oh God, on a hotel bed. God embraces our yearnings. That afternoon, my father heard his diagnosis of inoperable cancer. My Aunt Barbara demanded we get him to Lourdes. She demanded this with a glass of vodka in her hand. She demanded this running her fingers up and down my leg. She demanded this before she passed out in her car. In the movie of my life, my father died after I forgave him. And when my secret tormentor said, "May the ghosts of your dreams gnaw at your belly like a wolf under your jacket," did she really want revenge, or was she just killing time? For me, God is a hair shirt, or he's nothing. For me, God is a pain in the ass. That's mimesis again. This hour, I tell you things in confidence. I might not tell everybody, but I'll tell you. The world is a road under the wall to the church. The world is a church, and the world is a road, and the world is a stone wall. Still, he wanted her the way the cardinal wanted the Caravaggio. And when the ill-advised possessor of the painting resisted, one night, papal guards searched his house. Of course, contraband came to light, some illegal rifles, and when the ill-advised possessor of the painting went to prison, the cardinal got his Caravaggio. But I wasn't a cardinal, nephew to the Pope, and you were not a Caravaggio. So I asked you to be in my movie. Thank you.